This is Bruce Friedman of Adult Site Broker, and welcome to Adult Site Broker Talk, where every week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry, and we discuss what's going on in our business. Plus, we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week we'll be talking to Tim Valenti of Naked Sword and Falcon Studio Group. Adult Site Broker is proud to announce ASB Cash, the first affiliate program for an adult website brokerage. With ASB Cash, you'll have the chance to earn as much as 20% of our broker commission, referring sellers and buyers to us at Adult Site Broker. Check our website at asbcash.com for more details. First of all, today, let's cover some of the news going on in our industry. In what several adult industry figures and sex worker advocates are calling an apparent ongoing crackdown on sex-related accounts on Twitter, this past weekend the social network suspended the accounts of two prominent adult platforms, FanCentro and Clips for Sale. Attempts to access their Twitter accounts lead to blank pages that read "Accounts Suspended," followed by a statement that, I quote, "Twitter suspends accounts which violate the Twitter rules." The suspensions have generated a wave of fear among the sex worker community on Twitter, which relies on the platform for promotional purposes and to communicate with each other. Unlike Facebook and Instagram, Twitter tolerates adult content, although it has a documented history of shadow banning sex-related accounts. We're incredibly frustrated by Twitter's increasingly arbitrary removal of adult content, Model Centro's Kat Ravenga said. "We've had no communication at all from Twitter. They provided no warning, nor did they give us any reason why the accounts were shut down. There's no way to appeal, restart the accounts, or even know what others can do to prevent this." She added that this should frighten everyone an adult, no matter what the platform. We've erred on the side of caution with our social media content. These accounts were used to communicate with models and to promote their work. As with most corporate censorship measures against adult industry companies, Ravenga pointed out, the real victims are the models and sex workers. The people most affected by this are those who use our platforms to build business and communicate with fans. It's not fair to our industry, and it's certainly not fair to sex workers. Utah politicians continue their periodic attempts to pass hard-to-enforce state bills, allegedly to protect people from a made-up public health crisis around porn, with a new bill introduced to the legislature this week requiring new electronic devices to have porn filters turned on by default. The most recent example of Utah politicians' single-minded obsession with pornography comes courtesy of Representative Susan Pulsipher. Her House Bill 72, mandating porn filters, would go into effect in 2022, the local CBS affiliate reported, adding that international manufacturers of phones and computers like Apple or Google may face civil liability if they don't comply. If a user does not want the filter, they would need to turn it off manually. Utah legislators spend much time in the western state's limited resources introducing, debating, and occasionally passing bills decrying the scourge of pornography. Last year, the legislature passed a bill mandating that all adult content on the internet carry a specific warning label under penalty of state fines. This theatrical, almost impossible to enforce bill was not signed by Governor Herbert, who let it die by exercising his pocket veto prerogative. Herbert showed some practical restraint in contrast with his 2016 signing of a resolution drafted by religious anti-porn group Morality in Media declaring the existence of a dubious public health crisis around porn and recommended that public health resources be spent training healthcare workers on how to combat it. Representative Pulsipher's original draft of the bill she introduced had been criticized by other state lawmakers back in October. Her proposal to require smartphones and computers to have pre-installed porn blocking software and to have it activated as the default option when sold to Utahns was squashed during a committee hearing at the state's Business and Labor Interim Committee. According to a report by Desert News at the time, Pulsifer said the goal of her effort was to create another wall of defense to help protect children from the damaging impact of pornography and empower parents and legal guardians to limit a minor's exposure to such online harmful material. Several members of the Utah Business and Labor Interim Committee noted that it would be extremely difficult to identify which entity in the consumer electronics supply chain should be held liable for ensuring that software was activated. Theodore Wilfred Guy, one of two Girls Do Porn cameramen accused by the FBI in their probe of the shuttered adult website, has pleaded guilty to conspiring with the operators of the adult websites Girls Do Porn and Girls Do Toys to fraudulently coerce young women to appear in sex videos, according to the DOJ. Guy pleaded guilty before U.S. Magistrate Judge Jill L. Burkhart to conspiracy to commit sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. Guy, according to a DOJ press release, admitted in his plea agreement that at the start of his employment, he was instructed by Matthew Wolf that if any of the young female models asked, he should tell them that the videos would not be posted on the internet. The release also states that Guy admitted that over the course of his employment, he became aware that Matthew Wolf and Michael Pratt were posting many of the sex videos that he filmed on Girls Do Porn and Girls Do Toys, where they were publicly available to all willing purchasers. Nonetheless, Guy continued to lie and personally assured the young women he filmed the videos would not be posted publicly, the statement continues. Guy's plea follows that of Girls Do Porn recruiter and male talent Ruben Andre Dre Garcia, who last month pleaded guilty to 2 of the 7 charges against him. Guy was not originally mentioned by name in the FBI investigation, which was dramatically unveiled in the middle of the civil trial where 22 Jane Doe models sued Pratt and his Girls Do Porn associates for damages. Wolf served as the main videographer for the operation in the years in question and said on the stand during the civil trial that he had filmed over 100 adult videos for Girls Do Porn. A sentencing hearing for Guy has been scheduled for April 9th. Now let's feature our property of the week that's for sale at Adult Site Broker. We're proud to offer for sale a daily pay virtual webcam studio and recruitment site. The site is well written and has a conversion rate of over 10%. This provides a constant stream of new models for the studio, and it's what has generated massive year-over-year growth. The business offers daily payments to webcam models in return for a percentage of their earnings. Revenues are doubling year over year. Growth has been consistent since the business was started and is projected to continue growing at the same consistent rate. The models are mostly located in the USA and UK, with a handful from other English-speaking countries like Australia and Canada. So they are high earners, providing a great profit to the studio. The time needed to operate the studio is minimal and could be cheaply and easily outsourced. The owner spends about 2 hours each weekday on it. The site generates about 1,500 leads per week, made up about equally through organic search traffic and Google AdWords. The company is owned by a UK limited corporation and makes a 35% gross profit on all sales. There are 830 approved models currently, and that number grows every day. There is a mailing list of over 21,000 interested models, all of whom have signed up on the site. No remarketing has yet been done, which is a great area of opportunity for the business to grow further. All this for only $475,000. Now time for this week's interview. My guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk is Tim Valenti, co-founder and CEO of Naked Sword and president of Falcon Studio Group. Tim, thanks for being with us today on Adult Site Broker Talk.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. Thank you for the song. Now, Tim Valenti is a pioneering figure in online video distribution. After nearly a decade of experience, Valenti engineered a game-changing merger between Naked Sword and AABN in 2007. And in 2015, he was named president of Falcon Studio Group, where he now oversees operations for Falcon Studios, Raging Stallion, and Hot House Entertainment, as well as the Naked Sword Network. Over the years, Valenti has become one of the industry's most respected and innovative thinkers, known for blurring the line between adult and mainstream entertainment. Now, Tim has appeared as an op-ed blogger in the Huffington Post and produced both adult and independent films, including the award-winning indie feature I Want Your Love. Valenti has sat on many boards over the years, most recently as president of the board of the Free Speech Coalition. Now, Falcon Naked Sword is the most prolific producer of gay adult entertainment operating in the world today, home of the iconic Falcon Studios, the acclaimed Naked Sword originals, as well as successful and long-running Raging Stallion and Hot House Studios. Falcon Naked Sword has been releasing award-winning content for over 50 years. That's amazing. The porn powerhouse also operates various other specialty fetish lines. Falcon Naked Sword broadcasts their popular content via a number of highly visited membership sites, including the Netflix, that'd be Netflix as opposed to Netflix, of gay porn, nakedsword.com, falconstudios.com, and ragingstallion.com. In addition to their flagship membership sites, Falcon Naked Sword maintains a robust DVD, retail, and wholesale distribution business, as well as multiple video-on-demand and broadcast licensing channels. Falcon Naked Sword also operates several media outlets focused on the gay lifestyle and sex, including thesword.com, Hunt, ezine.com, and blog.falconstudios.com. Falcon Naked Sword media outlets and membership sites reach millions of gay consumers every year. Well, Tim, that's all we have time for today.
Thank God. I'm tired.
I am too. Reading all that.
Hearing all that. I mean,
yeah,
Jesus,
I do.
I
do all that. Okay, so let's start out with the most important question. How do you think our beloved San Francisco Giants are going to do this year?
You know, I'm a diehard Giant, so I always have the faith, always, no matter what year. And so we're going to do great this year. How's that?
All right, we're going all the way. We're going all the way. There you go. You heard it from Tim first. Okay.
Yep.
So, Tim, you and I are Facebook friends as we see each other's posts, primarily political, of course. Now, just how happy are you that this election is in the rearview mirror?
I think we passed I'm happy. I'm happy that a Democrat won. I'm happy that, Biden won. I think he's a good guy. I don't think it's over yet. I mean, I don't think it's going to be over for a long time in terms of, how we all see our country.
Yeah.
Some in different ways, obviously. But I think that this election in Georgia really will determine whether or not, we can actually make change. Or just have more of the same in terms of nothing really ever getting done in the Congress. I mean, there'll be a new attitude. I think there'll be obviously a lot of much more qualified people in government.
God knows.
And so, I mean, I think the trains will start to run on time or run better. I just don't think any meaningful legislation to, I'd say, in my opinion, make our union stronger. Because I think that there's a lot of ways to make the union stronger aside from having, a garage full of guns and, and armed with I'm free to do anything in the world I want. Fuck you because I'm American.
Yeah. And including infect everybody. And I should have probably told you this is going to drop in late January. So by then we're going to know what the Georgia election results were. And we'll have seen Joe Biden be inaugurated without Donald Trump attending. So that'll be a beautiful thing. Now, I've seen a transformation in the gay space of our industry in the years since I joined it. Now, besides all the other obvious changes, I find the gay side of the business, which used to be kind of separate, kind of off to the side, is now a part of the mainstream of our business, as it should be. Now, we go to the same parties and we go to the same trade shows. How do you feel that developed?
Well, it's interesting because I was there, in 2000. Let's just pick 2000 as sort of a year where things were really starting to swing in terms of, streaming online, with, just the whole line industry and the sort of coming together of sort of gay and straight. And I just think that, there were a lot of very smart entrepreneurial gay business folks around, and they made friends with, I think, a lot of very fun and open-minded and smart, cool entrepreneurial straight folks at these parties like XBiz or CyberSocket, AVN, GayVN, etc.
Right.
And I think a lot of bonds were formed, and I think there was some harmony there. I think that's kind of changed now. I don't think it's as harmonious. I think that gay is integrated definitely into to the big porn adult conglomerates like Pornhub, MindGeek, Gamma, even AVN. But I think there's still a very strong, very independent gay community, which include most of the leading sites, from a Cocky Boys to a Bellamy, Helix, Naked Sword, Falcon, etc. That really does not have that much unity with the straight side of the business, quite frankly.
What do you think that is?
I think that a lot of those folks that were really open and excited to forge new territory were, much more, I think, open liberal thinkers. And I think a lot of them have made their mark, made their money, and are sitting back. And I think that, I don't know, I find that in the last few years going to the shows, there just isn't that kind of, camaraderie between, the younger crowd of straight folks and the folks that are on the gay side. I just don't.
Yeah, it's hard for me to relate, being a native San Franciscan and never thinking twice about it. And always, I remember going to my first Phoenix Forum and going, "Oh yeah, they also have the Gay Phoenix Forum. Well, why are those separate?" And then pretty soon they weren't. And I think one of the people that had the most to do with bringing the two sides together was Morgan with CyberSocket with his parties, inviting everybody.
Absolutely, without question.
Yeah.
Morgan and Tim were, truly pioneers particularly on the gay side.
Yeah.
Did a lot to help me personally and building, supporting Naked Sword and building the brand Naked Sword, and introducing me to all types of folks.
Yeah.
There isn't a question about Morgan and Tim and CyberSocket with that regard. You're right.
And if you haven't listened,
but there isn't a Morgan right now.
No, that's true, because even Morgan isn't Morgan. He's pretty much pulled back, and he's enjoying Kansas. God knows, for whatever fucking strange reason, he's enjoying Kansas.
You know what? He meditates a lot, and
you got to in Kansas.
He's turned me into a meditator.
Good. That's really good.
But only in the morning.
Yes. And if you haven't heard the podcast interview I did with him, it's on our website. And it's, as you can imagine, excellent. So,
of course, yes.
Now, Naked Sword is celebrating 20 years in the industry. First of all, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now we had a live 20th anniversary party Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, we had testimonial little guest appearances from Kathy Griffin, Mark Richo, Bruce Valanche, Jake Shears of Scissor Sisters, every major drag personality, Shangela, everybody. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun.
I got to watch the stream for sure. I meant to watch it. Now, that says a lot about what you've done in this industry, 20 years. Now, as I mentioned, we're recording it in December. And well, tell me more about what the anniversary means to you.
Well, obviously, I'm really happy for a lot of folks that have stayed with me and worked with me over the years. That we all have this kind of achievement together.
Yes. That
all the things that we believed in, and all of the long nights and days and weekends and nights and days and weekends and nights and days and weekends, to make things right, whether, technically in our streaming capabilities or in what we're producing or what we're licensing to to present. I mean, we've done incredible amount of work, and everybody has put their heart and soul into it. And it's a good feeling that we've achieved such an amazing status. I think for us, but it's we deserve it, quite frankly. I mean, the stuff that we've done. I was watching a lot of the tape from just different, Tim and Roma shows, for example, or, like movies we've shot all around the world, and just, again, the people who are, great friends of what we've done. Kathy Griffin, I mean, we're part of the FBI and the Homeland Security investigation because we're the ones who made her a swordsman. And they didn't like her having a sword.
I do recall the incident. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what it means to me is how awesome for me and for all the folks that have are part of my family at Naked Sword, that we're all really happy where we are right now, and we're really proud of what we've done. I know that's sort of the American dream, right? Is to be happy at what you've done and feel, that you've really succeeded in what your goals were and beyond them. So, that's number one for sure. You still there?
Sorry about that. That's what happens when you put mute on. Okay. So, right. I start to talk and you're saying, are you still there? So Tim, after 20 years in the adult industry, what changes have you seen, especially in the gay space?
From the biggest one when I started was that we did not do any kind of condomless production,
right,
or narrative. And obviously, because of the great advances in science, we are able to protect ourselves from HIV and infection, AIDS through science and medication and, many years of education in terms of safe sex practices. But so now we have, we do condomless porn, bareback porn. I mean, that was a major game changer in a lot of ways, just in terms of who you could work with, the types of productions that you could do. I mean, and also, we're like the only studio probably not the only one, but I know that we were the first to really, have all the procedures and all the policies in place to protect all of our performers, regardless of status.
That's awesome.
And so, that's a huge achievement. Whereas, you either produce condom porn or you went against what was a standard for the gay side, which was, not to produce bareback. Now we can do either. And, but we get to work with a much bigger, variety of folks and can do so many more things. I mean, that's a major change. Again, I think I feel like I'm in like a third wave now of gay content producers, et cetera, people that have visions for what they should be producing. I was sort of in the second group or the end of the first, crossing over from this, condom into non-condom types of production. And then also, positioning and building our brand so that it was more than just hardcore porn. Like you mentioned earlier, doing independent movie making. We had a hit with I Want Your Love. We were the first to do a gay porn adult soap opera, which was really successful. Another something like that was called Golden Gate, which was set all in San Francisco. Very successful series type of work. I kind of feel like, again, where I came in and there was a lot more unity built with the straight companies, and that was good because you learned a lot of things together, and there wasn't too much of a wall between us. I don't feel like it's necessarily that way so much any longer. I think the gay producers, the successful ones, who can do it on their own without, being either going out of business or, selling their brand, say to like a Gamma or something, are not necessarily, it's pretty independent street.
Sure. Now, in mainstream America, despite the obvious homophobia that's still out there, there's a general acceptance of the gay lifestyle. And all you have to do is watch TV and TV commercials, and you see same-sex people and couples not only represented, but celebrated. Now, I think people realize what great consumers gay people are at long last. How is this carried over into gay porn?
I'd say that we carried gay porn into mainstream. And if you talk about Falcon, and Falcon is the brand, the company that is 50 years old. And obviously I wasn't around a part of that. I was,
you weren't
10-year-old wannabe surfer boy in Hawaii, but not thinking about running a gay porn empire or gay entertainment empire-ish. But if you look at like what Falcon did in the late 70s, early 80s, with being bold and going out and actually producing not like backroom types of movies, but actually trying to produce a porn like a narrative type of movie, how limited in the talent they may have had at the time to be able to do it, they still went out and did it. And what that did was it caught the attention of other folks in media. And then also, it made things a little bit more like, oh, okay, this is an actual real product. It happened that, just sort of the social circles that Chuck Holmes, who started Falcon, was in, like, he was like, I guess, an ultimate A-list gay guy in those days. He became friends with Calvin Klein, and the whole idea of the white briefs on Calvin Klein models became Falcon's, signature. And that was all developed with, and this is sort of like the big secret, but, with Calvin Klein, because he was friends, and he was gay, even though he wasn't gay at the time.
It's like Rock Hudson wasn't gay at the time,
Well, but these were out. He wasn't an out man, but Chuck certainly was. And what was happening in terms of, just gay culture, subculture, if you want to call it that at the time, a subculture, was what was influencing mainstream. So it's in a way, and I think it's been my experience in life since, I'm 60 and I was born in 1960. And, I benefited from all of the gay men and women who stood up for themselves and weren't, taken down and folks, dismissing them or telling them they were wrong or not to believe in themselves. And so I think by the time that, the 80s rolled around, I think gay culture was influencing mainstream, not the other way around.
Yeah, I think it's always influenced style for sure.
Yeah, I think that it certainly has. I think it's also, I think it's also influenced a lot of more progressive thinking for sure, and not just on gay subject matter, but a lot of things.
I agree.
That's what makes this whole political situation so disappointing and depressing. Is that it just seems that the alternative or the opposition wants a very narrow view of anything in the future.
Well, look at the I can't even say it, Neanderthals on the Supreme Court they've put in, who and their feelings about gay people and their rights. So that just pisses me off. It's unfortunate, but you got to hope. The whole part of this country is so many things
go on, are done by tradition and, respect for, we started our country because we wanted to be free from oppression, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so we have all of these standards and these ways that we, sort of silently agree, silent handshake to do things and try and be as respectful as possible.
Right.
Right. I just feel that a lot of this conservative movement is exactly what we ran away from, or the Europeans ran away from to come here.
Yep.
I mean,
I agree.
So, and here we are. Anyway.
Yep, it's definitely going backwards. It's certainly not going forwards. Hopefully the next 4 years we can start moving forwards again and maybe reach where we were when Obama left. I think that's probably the best we can hope for. Now, I got to ask the proverbial COVID question. Sorry. How has the pandemic affected your business and your operations?
I actually, when all this came down, and it came down for us in a very interesting and short period of time. We were shooting a really big movie in Austria for Falcon Naked Sword.
Oh, wow.
And I had literally like a dozen people there, plus, folks from Europe. And soon as President Trump went on the TV and he said, "I'm just canceling all flights to Europe." I mean, it was like, I just remember, I think I was like folding my bed sheets or something. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I, basically called Mr. Pam, who was directing the movie at 2 a.m. there, 3 a.m. And I said, get everybody up, get everybody packed, get everybody to Munich airport. And I will make sure you guys are on the midday afternoon flight, everybody. And I spent the next 2 hours working with our travel agent to get that done. So boom, I just remember it all like happening in 1 week. That happened. I decided that, we weren't going to take any kinds of chances. We were going to go full board on with whatever, we were recommended to do, mandated to do.
Sure.
And so, ABN, which is a, great company to be a part of, and they, they're very, hands off. They, we run an excellent part of their business, and they're very proud of it, and it does really well for them. So it's, we don't necessarily always have the same, ideas of what we should have off and what we should be doing close. But I, went ahead and just implemented stay at home, work from home, shut down all productions, canceled productions for, I think, 45 days until we, figured out stuff. And we figured out that we weren't going to be producing for some time, and that we were going to all be working from home. We were all very connected. We have great communication. But in the meantime, I thought this is a really great time to talk about all those things we wanted to either talk out and put together roadmaps for new businesses or productions that we'd like to do. And how can we be smart about using the talent from their places at home? I mean, of course, we did lots of, solo types of scenes. We also did, models that were locked down with each other. We were able to do that. But we were able to, come up with a lot of different fun, cool ideas that we actually produced and gave away free to to folks that came to our tour. We did, all kinds of public service stuff around wearing masks. We did a lot of pride types of programming and pride stories. We did the Miss Pineapple pageant, was a huge hit. Gay porn stars who do drag and competed in a live show, which we did. We've done the Mr. Man Naked Sword Top 20 Countdown. We've done cooking shows. We've done all kinds of fun things, including, so what we did was during the time where we weren't back to full production, we really were very creative and had the time to do that. And some of what we thought about in 2020 will start appearing as products at the end, the second half of 2021. We are in production, or we're basically not. I shut down production on Friday, only because of what's going on. But in between the time I think we started shooting in August, and we've done a lot in August, September, October, November. And so we have, a lot of content ready to go. Not as big of narrative types of features that we do, but a lot of really beautiful, very styled, beautifully lit, gorgeous models. I'm secretly signing a whole new team of exclusive. We'll by 2021 we'll have 8 new exclusives to adding to our already wonderful group of guys. So yeah, I mean, it's been tough. I thought it was going to be, I thought, oh, who knows what to expect, but we've done really well. We've been really creative. We took the lead in developing on-set policies, guidelines, procedures, everything. We worked hard with the FSC, and we took the lead. Our production director, Adam Robinson, was phenomenal. And we literally wrote the book, and a lot of those companies are following what we, worked hard to put together for shooting. And so, we're done now for the year, and I've canceled all production for January. And again, we'll assess in January as to what we might be able to do in February. And if not, we won't. But we're no short of ideas, plans, and projects. And a lot of them are on paper. So it's not just sort of like, I hope we do this. We're going to.
That's funny. Well, you did the classic turning lemons into lemonade, and another thing that you most certainly did from a marketing standpoint, putting my marketing hat on, which I'm always doing. You certainly sealed in, your brands in the minds of the people, and of course, your brands are the ones that they're going to go to first in the future. So
yeah, we got a lot of new, unique traffic, and a lot, a good majority of it was from all this free content we would.
Sure.
We do a produced piece, like a whole thing on all 20 models wearing masks. Just a PSA type of thing.
Nothing but masks. I love it.
Yeah. Next week we do drive-in movies, for free. Then we do Miss Pineapple pageant, and then we did 5, and they were just fucking classics. It's called Play, and it was live game shows where we had 6 different famous gay porn performers and Mark McNamara as the MC. I mean, riotous, hysterical stuff that we're going to continue to produce next year as well. That hell, even MindGeek tried to copy it. I mean, it was funny. I mean,
that's the greatest form of flattery. There's no two ways about it. So how about you personally? I know you spent some time at your retreat. I know I certainly miss traveling to the shows and seeing our friends, or I should say family in this business. Now, how about you?
I mean, I think that for me personally, I think I lucked out in that this is the year that all this would happen, and I wouldn't be traveling, or I wouldn't be able to travel, because I think I needed a break. And sometimes the year started out crazily with so much to do and so many things to do and projects going on, and then I was very fortunate to be honored by AVN, Gay VN, and put in the Hall of Fame. So that was a huge thing in Vegas, and there was all kind. It was just so much,
very much
and
deserved.
Well, thank you, but it was just like, it just seemed like I could feel my body buzzing, just from so much going on. And then when this all came down, it was almost like, oh wow, I don't have to worry about leaving in 3 weeks. I don't have to worry about this or going
Isn't that
here.
Nice?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, it kind of was. And then I did something I've never done in my entire life. And, we have a really cute little farm little ranch in New Mexico, and it's just so beautiful and quiet there. And we have a pool, so we go there for like a week in the summer or 2. My in-laws, we built a casita on the property, and they live there all year round.
Nice.
But we never get to spend as much time there. And I was like, we just drove out in June, and we literally stayed all summer, and I just worked every day from different locations around my Adobe home.
Nice. How long of a drive? How long of a drive is that?
16 hours straight.
Eee.
Yeah. But, by the time you hit New Mexico, the border of Arizona and New Mexico, it's like you're on the road for 12 hours, or, like 13, 14 hours. You're like, only 2.5 more to go. So we do it.
I love it. Now, you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, my birthplace and former home. And before I left the country, of course. Thank God. Talk a bit about the Bay Area and what you like about it.
That's so funny. Now that we have, I'm from Hawaii, and I born and raised, and, Hawaii to me is always in my heart. I'm a Hawaiian boy at heart. But I've lived in San Francisco for most of my adult life, and Berkeley in the last 20 years. We're right on the north edge of campus.
Yeah.
And now we have this great place in New Mexico, and I'm like, how much time do you want to spend anywhere? And you've been here for so long. Do you want to spend more time there because you can? Yeah. But I just love being here.
Yes.
It's so alive. I mean, we're in the best place because we live in the North Berkeley Hills, and we can look out, and, our front window and decks look into the city and the Golden Gate.
That's a wonderful view. God, I love that
beautiful.
view.
It's beautiful. It's so gorgeous.
Take a picture for me to remind me and send it to me, will you? I'm serious.
I mean, I don't mean to be, I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just saying, I mean, it's not like, it's just really cool. And it's amazing. We're like, right on the edge of campus. And so, we live in a very youthful place, and there's always a lot of energy, and we're both my husband and I are both into sports, and we go to a lot of bear games. He's a duck. I'm a bear, and we go to,
you got the duck. You got a duck on your Skype. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. We go to Memorial Stadium, and we watch, football games, and we go and watch tennis a lot, especially girl tennis. We have our favorites, and then some baseball. We went to the last girls basketball game, played in the gym in spring. We were there the last night, and then everything shut down. Yeah. So that was actually the last live sports event I went to.
Oh, wow. Well, you and I will both be at Oracle Park soon. In fact, when I come back to visit you, we're going to have to go to a game together with our significant others. That would be a blast.
I'm totally down. We're down.
Absolutely, my man. It's coming. So is the vaccine. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, in 2007, your company merged with adult giant AABN. I can't believe it's been 13 years. My God, almost 14. So I remember like it was yesterday. Now, how has that changed your professional life?
Just to be, straight up, I feel like we brought a lot to them. And
yes,
we and like I said, that they've been, the most amazing parent group. I mean, we're merged, but they are, they're the bigger company that we merged with, and they're our daddy, but they leave us really alone. I mean, I appreciate and always try and find ways where we can integrate, for the good of the entire company. And lots of times we do that on the tech side. Their product is much different than ours in terms of what we offer and how we offer it.
Yes.
So, but we do, we have combined products. We have, a time theater that's their main product. We have a whole stable of white labels of Naked Sword that are branded for individual type studios. And we do that kind of technology with them as well. So, we find the ways to work together. Professionally for me, I just, I think, I made the really right and smart move, I think, at the time. Based on what I saw. I've been, doing this for about 7 years at the time in terms of just straight adult streaming, because we still had Cubic Media that I was running, which was a development company, web development company.
Oh, I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah. And that's how we started Naked Sword. I mean, we were one of the original small developer firms that Macromedia chose to learn how to learn streaming technology. So we got a little jump on that. In the mid 90s, and
I never would have taken you as a tech geek, Tim.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm really not. It's funny because I got a job at 30 in San Francisco when I decided to move back there. And I wanted to work in an ad agency, and I was a creative. I was like a creative director.
That sounds like you. Yes, that's you.
Yeah, totally. But I interviewed at this agency that was a quote high tech agency, which I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. It was like 1989, 90. I wasn't that savvy.
Okay.
But all their clients were like Wired magazine and Hitachi, and I mean they had all these, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to get a job here. I don't know anything about technology. But they liked me a lot and hired me. And I ended up, working there for 5 years, being a creative director, an art director, even, then eventually managing the bigger accounts. And then when we went digital in terms of building websites in those days, websites were glorious, online brochures. For our client, I ran that division and then started Cubic in 96. And we launched the first version of Naked Sword in 1999, but it was a failure and I pulled it off the web. And we relaunched it 6 months later, and who knew it was going to happen?
Well, and as they say, the rest is history. Now, you became the president of Falcon in 2015. Same question. How has this changed things?
It's changed things for both the brands, Falcon and Naked Sword. I think it's really sort of like given a shot in the arm to Falcon because we do a lot of things together. Like Naked Sword's sort of the more progressive, not so rigid brand. And so my sort of philosophy is I'm not a formula guy, and I never have been. And so that was a very difficult thing for, the Falcon team to understand or even want to. And so it was a little hard going the first couple years, but we found our way. And I think, Naked Sword has energized Falcon, and Falcon has given a little bit of a sort of old world gravitas to Naked Sword. Nice. I mean, you've got two really interesting brands that are, together, and I think they're very powerful together. And we're going to cover a lot of ground in the next 3-4 years in terms of, repositioning ourselves as, number one in hardcore male erotica, but getting there in other areas of entertainment in terms of more mainstream and crossover.
Okay. So what's ahead for Falcon Naked Sword? Any exciting things coming up for your company?
Well, like I said, we had a lot of time to talk about things we wanted to do but never had the time to do. One of the things that we were working on, and we're finished now and we'll be launching in April, is an entire new platform, technology platform for Naked Sword. And then all of our all of our clients, white label clients, studios that we provide streaming for. So that's a big thing. We've got a more mainstream streaming product that we're going to be relaunching called QReal. That we had a really good first run with just sort of independent gay cinema. We partnered with Breaking Glass. They've had a little bit of a change there and not being able to supply as much content. So we're reworking what that site is and what that brand is. And then, I think it's going to be really exciting when we relaunch it, probably January 2022, but it will be ready in the fall for us to all test and play with.
Sweet.
So there's that. Yeah, we're doing, I think we're going to do a real big collaboration once we can start shooting again with our partner, Gamma Studio. Gamma, we have a really great relationship with Gamma, and their brand, their Next Door Studios, has undergone some really great changes, and we're planning a very big co-production together that will be more in the world of series, ongoing sort of series, than just a one-off production. So I'm very excited about that. I mean, a lot of new content, a couple of new products, very slick, upgraded technology on our new platform, ways we can, repackage content and sell it to a wider audience. Okay.
Now, you're obviously a pretty busy guy. Har, har, har. Besides going to sporting events, what else do you like to do in your spare time? Spare time in quotation marks.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It depends on what the time of the year. Right now, I'm getting, hunkered in for watching a lot of noir, Scandinavian noir, serial killer, detective type shows. I love European TV. I don't know why, except for the French TV. The actors are awful. They're way too melodramatic.
I can't imagine.
I'm doing that. I'm actually starting to get back into I want to get to be able to run 2 or 3 miles a day in New Mexico we have the ditch trails that go all through the village of where we are, past farms and, ranches and
nice.
Horse pastures. It's so cool. And I want to be able to do it. And, I am 60 and I have gained a few pounds over like 10, 15 pounds since March. But I've started to lose it. I've been walking 3 days, and I'm starting to jog, and I will be running by the time I'm there. So I'm excited about that.
Sweet.
I love to swim. Every time I go home, you have to drag me out of the ocean, either body surfing or surfing, although surfing only with a huge board because I'm old. Swimming, anywhere there's water, I'm going to be in it. I don't care where we are. I love to travel, and we don't get enough to do, my husband and I together. But when we do, it's so much fun. We went to Iceland. We were in Iceland 2 years ago for Thanksgiving with Andy and his husband Rob.
That sounds cold.
Oh, it was so fun. You have no idea. We went hiking on a glacier. We did it all. It was amazing. So much.
I don't do cold. Well, you said you like water. You said you like water, and you like to travel. You should come out here. We have got a pool. So we'll make it there. Ty. He's a big Ty from Queer Me Now. Are you familiar with Ty? We've met. Yeah.
Ty from Thailand.
Ty from Thailand.
I know, right? Cheesy, but that's what he says. He's local, and definitely have friends in Thailand to go.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, like you.
Okay.
Like Ty.
Yeah. Like Ty from Thailand. I love it.
Like Ty from Thailand.
Well, Tim, I'd really like to thank you for being our guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk, and I hope we'll get a chance to do this again really soon. My broker tip today is part 6 of what to do to make your site more valuable for when you decide to sell it later. Here's more information on what to give a potential buyer. Tell them how well has your content been protected from piracy, and what steps have you taken to protect your content. Are you using a piracy takedown or monitoring service? These are important facts to know. What promotional tools do you offer to your affiliates? The more tools you offer, the more successful your affiliates will be. What is your traffic breakdown by country? Tier 1 countries like the USA, Canada, the UK, Germany, and Australia are the most preferred. Add in anything else that will add value to the sale of your property that you can think of, such as what custom scripts do you use? What content management system software is on your site? Do you use billing or affiliate software like NATS or MPA3? What is your retention rate? How you retain your members is of the utmost importance. How many joins and rebills do you have per day? Do you buy advertising, and if so, what kind? Can your content make more money in the DVD or VOD markets, or have you already taken advantage of this opportunity? How much did you spend to produce or buy the content that's on your site? What do you believe the content is worth now? What's special or different about your website? How is it unique? Make sure and include a list of all the websites you're selling, in addition to any domains that come along with the sale. Is there anything that adds value to the sale? Provide them with any additional information upon request. Before giving a buyer any information, have them sign a non-disclosure agreement. If you use a broker, the NDA will be provided for you. Good brokers, let me think here, Adult Site Broker, have a large resource of potential buyers that are looking for properties just like yours. And they know how to deal with potential buyers. They'll also negotiate the terms of the sale, such as price and any payment terms. Before closing the sale, find a good escrow service to make sure that both the buyer and seller are protected. we have those resources, of course, as well. We'll talk about this subject more next week. And next week, we'll be talking to Anna Lee of 2049 Entertainment. And that's it for this week's Adult Site Broker Talk. I'd once again like to thank my guest, Tim Valenti. Talk to you again next week on Adult Site Broker Talk. I'm Bruce Friedman.